Hello guys, good morning everyone. End of week update on Bitcoin US dollar. Here we have Bitcoin against US dollar on a weekly chart, so every candle is a weekly one. Let's have a look to the last three Japanese candles. Here we have a long white candle, then we have a doji which looks like a bearish reversal symbol. The last one at the moment is a doji. So actually, what we can retrieve from these last three candles. Okay, we have a relative high at 14,000 US dollar. Here Binance tells us 13,970 to be precise. The movement started with a low at 3,156 US dollar. So actually we had more than 10,000 US dollar run up in actually 2 months, which is a very strong bullish movement. Let's have a look now to the momentum and let's now have a look to the volumes. As I've been saying before on my previous analysis, we have a point of control, POC, okay? So actually here we have an increase, a huge increase on volumes if related with the previous volumes, okay? Which means some whales, some strong end started to selling to retail traders once they assumed the Bitcoin reached the top. Okay, so long white candle, reversal symbol, and doji. It means now that this doji is actually means that there is a battle between bulls and bearish forces. In other words, at the moment, I don't see any possibilities to see the movement going up. Obviously, the volatility now is higher than the volatility that we have seen in during the first 3 or 4 months of 2019. Since actually May and June, the volatility started to get higher. Okay, so distance between the high and the lows got higher. Okay, and what we see here, let's have a look here. Here we've seen the first period. Okay, here we had an evening star, very small one, so long, almost long white candle, doji, and then a bearish candle engulfing the first two candles of the three candles pattern. Okay, but then we have a four candle which engulf all the three previous ones. So we have seen the price moving at 14,000 US dollar. Now the situation is starting to be more interesting. So what expect to see in the short term, as I've been saying in my previous analysis, I want to see a retest of this area, 7,500 US dollar. Here the slow moving average, obviously the slope of the two moving average is positive, okay, which is a very important which is something really important for us, okay, since we want to see the Bitcoin going higher and higher. And again, here we can see the hearth bands, but in my previous analysis, I've been saying the weekly hearth bands are positive. The slope of the weekly hearth band is positive, which means the derivatives is positive, which means that in the long term, for the medium and the long term, I see the Bitcoin going higher, okay, but in the short term, since this situation, so long white candle, reversal symbol, and now a dojing information, we still have other 2 days. Today is Friday, okay, so every weekly candle goes till Sunday. Is different from the stock market. The stock market is from Monday to Friday. Here in the cryptocurrency market, the market are open 24 hours per week, okay. However, given this this huge increase in volumes, okay, I expect to see the price going down. To be honest, now, okay. So for me, this is a point of control. So for those ones who were able to buy the Bitcoin at a much lower price, for example, 3,000 or 4,000 US dollar, what I suggest to do is to sell Bitcoin now, okay, to take profit now at every kind of movement higher, okay, and then of course you can store one part of the profit and then you can buy the same Bitcoin at a much lower price, okay. So I really don't see, for the short term, let's be careful. I'm talking now about the short term. Okay, short term, it means few weeks, okay, which means July and maybe August. Okay, I don't see the price going up in a stable way. Again, we might see spikes. Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. Every time you will see a spike, so a movement higher, okay, maybe it's the right moment to sell your Bitcoin, unless you are an holder, you are holding your cryptocurrency for a few years. Okay, unless you have in mind to keep your Bitcoin until the Bitcoin will be reaching some target, some much higher target. Okay, I've been saying that for my I've been using two indicators, quite interesting indicators in my previous analysis. So please go and check my previous analysis. My target, okay, for 2000 end of 2019, first half of 2020 is for Bitcoin is around something around between 30 and 40,000 US dollar. Okay, then we might see much higher targets, but not. I don't expect to see, honestly, based on my trading experience, those targets being reached in on the first half of the year 2020. Then with such a volatility, everything can happen. Okay, but realistically speaking, I don't expect to see 100,000 US dollar, for example, within the end of 2019. Again, everything is possible. I cannot forecast the future, but based on the historical volatility, based on the historical data, based on the price pattern, based on my trading experience, I can say that we might see a new high before 2019, but difficultly we will see 40,000 US dollar within the beginning, the end of 2019, which is something that I cannot exclude. Okay, obviously. So here, point of control. Let's have a look here. The MACD. What the indicator is telling us. Actually, for those ones who are expert in trading analysis, this divergence between the fast and the slow moving average is something that we don't like to see. Actually, expect some movement down, some retracement, even because there's too much distance between the fast and the slow moving average. If we have a look to the histogram here, now they are actually horizontal. Okay, we don't see a new high in the histogram. Okay, so my realistic scenario is to see the Bitcoin going down actually in the short term to retest this area, actually 8,000 US dollar. I will tell you we are going to reach 8,000 US dollar with the probability of 8 out of 10. Okay, 8 out of 10. This area between 6 and 8,000 US dollar should be retested. Then we might see a movement high, higher. Okay, okay. Second scenario, which is the less favorable. I really don't believe about this scenario, but it can happen. Okay, if we see a movement going up and above the previous high at 14,000 US dollar, then we will have space until the previous all-time high at 20,000 US dollar. Okay, which is something really great. That will be really great, the best scenario possible. Okay, that's why, because above this recent high at almost 14,000 US dollar, we don't see any other resistance. Okay, there is space. There is a lot of space until 20,000 US dollar. So this is the second scenario, but the first scenario for now is a retest of the area between 6 and 8,000 US dollar. I would say this area around 7,000, 7,500 US dollar, 8 or 9 possibilities out of 10. So we have 8 or 90% of seeing again this price retesting. What we might see now, so a retrace of Bitcoin and some movement up for the altcoins. So for some altcoins, let's have a look to Egretia. I will make a video about Egretia because it's something really interesting. Okay, for today's everything. Thank you.